Alright, what's going on everybody, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? Today's video, we're going to be going over some of the changes I've made between the last devlog. It's been about 2 weeks, I think, since the last time I did one, and I've made a lot of updates to the game. I've pretty much finished the endless mode, added new weapons, new enemies, so yeah, we'll just hop right into it. The first thing I want to show you guys is the endless mode level that I created. I finished the jungle environment, and so yeah, I'm going to show it off. So one of the first things you'll notice is kind of the ambience. So there's rain. I added sound effects for the rain. It's pretty simple as far as its geometry goes because I'm going for, you know, the retro style, but I think it's a little bit more detailed than what you would expect from something out of like Quake. As far as the skybox, I kind of built like a mountain range, and the idea is that this is sort of like a canopy, and then you're above the canopy. I don't know if I really showed that off super well, but the idea is that you can see the kind of trees poking out of the ground and mountains and stuff, and these big Aztec pyramids kind of in the background that are sticking out above the trees. I think it works. It's pretty obvious that you can't go off here. As far as layout goes, it's pretty much split between two sort of cliffs, and then there's a bridge going across it, and you can use some of your movement abilities to kind of traverse it. There's not really any wall running spots, which I might end up changing. We'll see. There is a section down here with some water, which is pretty cool. So you can hear the water, if you get close to it, plays sort of a stream sound. You can also go underwater, which puts an overlay over your screen, and then muffles the audio, like this. Which is pretty cool. Yeah, over here is a new power up I added. It's basically just a health pickup. So if you grab it and you're at full health, it'll give you a bonus health, which is represented by the shield at the corner of the screen. And if you are below full health, then it will heal you one time. And in endless mode, the health pickup respawns every 2 minutes. I also added a new weapon, a rocket launcher. So it shoots about once every 1.5 seconds or so. So it's slower than the revolver. It creates an explosion. There's just a few particle effects, nothing too crazy, just some sparks, some fire. It looks decent enough for what it's trying to do. It uses rockets, which you can see the ammo pickups I've sort of scattered around the map. I added sort of a glowing effect to them so you can see them a little bit easier. You can rocket jump with it, like that. So it helps if you jump before the rocket goes off. So if this is without jumping, and then here's with jumping. And so hopefully this will be really nice for being able to speedrun. Like for example, you should be able to skip over like most of this bridge by rocket jumping, and boom, you just kind of go across. So it's try to make it pretty fun and pretty useful. So for example, you can use it to get up out of this cliff easier than having to go all the way around. You can get on top of this if you do it right. There we go. And so yeah, it should add a bit to the traversal and kind of enjoyment of traversing the world. And obviously, since it's about speedrunning, that's going to be very helpful. I also finished the programming for the endless mode. So it has a wave-based system, and it spawns waves of enemies that get harder each time. So for the first wave, you can see it just spawns some of these little goblins. I did make a change to the goblins, so now when you kill them, their mask kind of flies off, which is fun. Adds a little bit more feedback. Like that. So once you kill the last enemy of the wave, transition to the next wave, and then we'll see which enemies spawn in the next wave. Okay, so it spawns some imps. I also added headshotting back into the game, which was previously removed. The imp has also been dramatically updated in its animations and model to fit the style of the game a little bit better, and I think they just look a lot better. So I'll come take a closer look at this one so you can see him. So he chucks a little fireball at you, just like he did before, a little bit faster now. Just like that. If you get too close to him, he'll try to kick you, which is not the best animation I've ever done, but it's serviceable. And then there's this ragdoll. After that, it'll spawn in a scientist, which I've added headshots to as well. It's important to keep in mind that only the revolver at this point can actually do headshots. And the reason for that is to make the revolver stronger than some of the other weapons and give it a, well, not stronger, but to give it a buff to make it more viable when compared to using a rocket launcher or shotgun or whatever. And this should help to make it a little bit higher skill. And the future sniper rifle will have the same mechanic that will allow you to do headshots, which typically deal about double damage. So they're definitely useful. Like for example, instead of 2 shots to kill, it'll just take 1 shot. Like that. You can see I also made some big changes to the harpy too. I made them a lot weaker, but I also retextured them. As you can see, it looks a lot better than it did before, like a lot more clean pixel art, and it's just a much nicer texture in my opinion. More visually distinct, a little bit brighter, easier to see and hit. And instead of shooting lasers, it now shoots a bunch of fireballs. And the reason for that is because the laser was kind of janky. It didn't really feel good to play against. And so I thought it'd be better just to have sort of like a support enemy who just shoots a lot of fireballs. It's a little bit less creative, but it works. And it kind of keeps a consistency among the hell enemies. You could say I've also updated the kill screen with some placeholder spots for some stats and a future Steam leaderboard, which will eventually be filled in with a bunch of information. Right now I just have some placeholder time and kills, but I'll program that in later. I've also added a new enemy type, which is a like a knight or a hell knight. And these are supposed to be stronger than your average enemies, and so they don't spawn until some of the later waves. So I'm just going to spawn some in so that I can show off some of their abilities. But essentially they work on sort of a shield system, so they don't take any frontal damage, so you have to bait them into lowering their shield by attacking, and then you can counterattack using your shotgun or another weapon. So here you go. You can see they shoot out sort of like a wave attack with their sword, like that. If you shoot their shield, the bullets bounce off, like this. However, shooting with a rocket launcher, because the rockets you could shoot behind them, actually still does damage to them. So you can kill them with a rocket launcher. Then you can bait them out and then jump over it. So I find that typically the best way to kill them is to bait them out and then shoot them in the head with a shotgun or something at close range. And then upon dying, they ragdoll and drop their sword and shield, which you can now walk through because then it won't get in the way. And when combined with other enemies, they do make for pretty formidable foes because they're kind of always approaching kind of slowly, which provides a incentive to sort of stay off the ground. So due to their slow speed, they can be sort of ignored, but they're always getting closer, so it forces you to be on the move if you want to ignore them or to engage with them, which can be dangerous because of their large health pool. So there you go. That would be like an example of one wave of enemies that would include him. Alright, one more thing I want to show you guys is that I've actually started adding music into the game. So I've been going for sort of a Doom MIDI rock style, and I would like to get some of your feedback on it. So I will just play through a bit of it with the song playing, and so you can sort of see how it affects the gameplay and how it sounds and feels. so let me know what you guys think of that. Just like the original Doom, it takes heavy inspiration from popular rock and metal songs. So if you guys can guess down in the comments what song it is that the melody is inspired by, then let me know, and I'll let you know if you're right. But yeah, let me know what you guys think, if you want me to continue making the MIDI style, or if you want me to do something higher fidelity. Higher fidelity is harder because I really don't know what I'm doing when it comes to music. I'm learning as I go, and so I know it's not great, but I'm proud that I was able to at least produce something. And maybe in the future, if I really this game gets a little bit bigger, I might actually have to hire somebody who knows what they're doing. But for the meantime, I'm content with making stuff myself. So let me know what you guys think about that. Other than that, I have some plans for what to do before the next devlog, including finishing off another enemy, which I've been working on. A soldier. So I'll spawn him in. So you can see he's it's pretty similar to the design of the Half-Life sort of grunts, but a little bit darker. It's got like red glowing eyes, gas mask kind of thing. And then here's some of his animations, work in progress. So shooting animation. Throwing a grenade, which is one of the special things he's going to be able to do. Yeah, they're pretty basic, but yeah, so that's one of the plans I have to work on for next time. I'm also going to be working on the campaign levels, so it's time for me to start working on this main, I guess, story campaign. But that's really the whole point of the game, is speedrunning these levels, not the endless mode. It's more of an afterthought, or of a way for me to test new features. So yeah, that'll be what I work on next week. And thanks for stopping by. Please leave any feedback on what you saw today, and thanks for watching. Bye.